Hello, YouTube. We'll be starting the show shortly, just giving people time enough for their notifications to get out there. And hi, Twitch. Hi, Facebook. Everybody. Let's just wait and see as things happen. Let me draw reference to the names, the Twitter handles, and the hashtag on the screen. Save Toondah Harbour. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to save Toondah Harbour. And I will, in a few minutes, I will bring up that video. Yeah, hi there, YouTube. Just letting the notifications and whatnot get out on the services before I start talking about all the things. Just bear with me. I just want to load up a video that we can play while we're doing the Toondah Harbour things. Where have we got those? I don't even know where I've got it these days. We might just play it off the internet. That might be the go. Yeah, that might be the go. Thanks for joining us too, by the way. I hope you've got a couple of interesting how do we do this? This has become such an annoying thing. So I'm going to have to upload something. Gee, it's annoying what they've done to this lately. Okay, that screenshot will do. No, video. Oh, annoying. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pop out of the stream and pop back in because this is so annoying. I'll be back in a minute. Or I think I will. Oh, gee. Okay. Oh, it still doesn't let me do it. How annoying. Download. Find anything. Come on. Sorry for this. I asked to upload a video and now it won't let me do anything but find a video, which of course, there we go. I found one that I can actually upload because it's not too long. Thanks for sticking with me there. All right. I'm just going to upload it even though I don't want to run it. That's good. Okay, let's do the countdown and then let's begin. Okay, countdown on. Let's begin. Oh, it's not playing any music. Let's play the music one. Let's stop that one. Let's play the one with music. G'day, bird nerds. How you going? I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd, and I don't know how long we're going to go today, but I just wanted to do a little bit of a stream to talk about how birds enter our consciousness in popular culture. So let's start talking about songs. Let's start talking about songs about birds. And I won't be able to play any of them. That's a bit sad. But we can talk about the songs and see whether you know any of them. 54 songs about birds. My goodness. I didn't think there were that many. Let's see how many are on your list. When we have a look at those. My favourite, and I'm hoping that in the comments you can tell me your favourite. My favourite song about birds has always been Blackbird by the Beatles, Paul McCartney. But of course I hate it in a way because it's about the common blackbird or the European blackbird, which is an introduced and feral pest here in Australia. But it's a beautiful song, and it's a beautiful song that Paul McCartney wrote. But the blackbird also has a beautiful song. But I can't really totally love it without reservation just because of the bird that it's about. But let's come and have a look at some of this. I've got to say, 54, I reckon this is a really good lot. There's a couple more that I've got, and I've got some movies up as well. But let's have a look at the 54. Let's skip through all the blog post thing. Okay. Now there's a song, Bluebird by Miranda Lambert. I don't know who Miranda Lambert is or what that song is, so I'm guessing that's a young person's song. Do you know the song? Unfortunately, I can't play these clips, even though they're there up on YouTube. It'll get the stream knocked, copyright strike and whatnot. So that's the downside of talking about popular culture. So you just have to put up with my voice and your comments. Okay, When Doves Cry by Prince. That's very definitely should be up there in the top 10, don't you think? You'd know and love When the Doves Cry by Prince. Hello Facebook, nice to see you. Do you know Bluebird by Miranda Lambert? Does that come into your thinking when you think about birds in popular culture and birds in song? And actually, just so you know, we're going to talk about movies, we're going to talk about books perhaps, we're going to talk about obviously songs, maybe some just band names. I mean, The Byrds, the BYRDS, of course. When Doves Cry, I never got into this really. I did love the guitar sound, but my sister was a massive Prince fan. And of course, being a little bit more than a year older than her, I had to think, you like it, therefore it must be crap. But no, it's a really great song, but I wasn't really into it at the time. It doesn't tell me what number it was in the top 5 greatest 500 songs of all by Rolling Stone, but I think it was in the top 10. So let's see. House Wren by Owl City. Okay, I don't know Owl City. I don't know House Wren. I do know Sia, Australian, of course. Bird Set Free. But would I put that in the top 10? No, I wouldn't. Let's go down. 80 song titles with birds in the title. Gee, we're not going to get to that. Birds by Imagine Dragons and Coldplay. Is it this? I wouldn't put that in my top 5. What about you guys? Come on, help me out in the leave it. Put a comment in or something. If you're watching on thebirdemergency.com/live, you can't do comments that way. So click on the YouTube. Hello, Peter. Nice to see you. Peter, I might do a recap for you. Let's go back. I'm pulling up a song, a page on Spin Ditty, and this is 54 songs about birds. Now, the number one, Bluebird by Miranda Lambert. I don't even know who that is. It's a country song, 2019. Okay. Song about resilience. Good stuff. Are bluebirds resilient? I guess they must be to migrate in North America. Number 2, When Doves Cry by Prince. Would that be in my top 2? I don't know. Maybe it would probably be in my top 10. Number 3, House Wren by Owl City. Don't know that at all. But Peter, you would probably know Sia because she's Australian. Written songs for lots of people. Not in my top 5. Let's keep going. Imagine Dragons and Coldplay, a song called Birds. Again, I don't know it. This is more my vintage. Tanya Tucker, Two Sparrows in a Hurricane. Again, would I put that in my top 10? No way. Tanya Tucker, amazing story about Tanya Tucker. Oh, this is going to be one of those really annoying lists, isn't it? Like 7, How Shall a Sparrow Fly? Martina McBride, A Broken Wing. Yes, nice song. Is it about a bird? It's using a bird metaphor. I don't know. I'm jettisoning out of this one. I'm going to go to 31 songs about birds. That might be better. Liam Flynn. Oh, this is a really recent one too. Let's see. All right, here we go. This is better, isn't it? This is my favourite bird song about birds. Blackbird. And Peter, I was mentioning how I kind of love it, but I kind of hate it because, of course, blackbirds are the bane of our existence sometimes in Australia, but you can't not like their song. And you can't really not like the way Paul McCartney sings this song, and the guitar picking is fantastic. And it's a response to events in the civil rights movement. Little Rock Central High School, 1957. Okay. Three Little Birds, Bob Marley. Yeah. And again, apologies. I can't play the songs because I'll get copyright strikes. So if we don't know it, if we've never heard of it, put it in the comments and we'll see if we can, maybe I can sing a little bit out of tune at the wrong pitch so I don't get a copyright strike. But this is every little thing's going to be all right. I think everybody knows the Bob Marley. Don't worry about a thing. So yeah, probably would make it into my top 10. It's not about a particular bird. Feed the Birds, Julie Andrews and Mary Poppins. Not even going to talk about that one. Canary in a Coal Mine. Yes. Top 20 maybe for me. Wouldn't be in my top 5 or probably my top 10. But very definitely in the pop culture vein, which is what I was looking for. The Canary in a Coal Mine. Everybody knows what that refers to, even though we haven't been taking canaries into coal mines for how long? Okay. Yeah, this probably would have made my top 10. Nelly Furtado, I'm Like a Bird. Who are we welcoming in at the moment? Hello, Facebook. Nice to see you. You can, in the comments, let me know where you are. Like if you're not in Australia or if you're not in America, well, there's going to be some cultural differences that maybe we can talk about. Songs about birds or bird issues and films, books that are in your culture, maybe not so much in my culture. So use the comments and let us know. I like this to be a two-way thing, or else I'm just talking. Nelly Furtado, yeah, that's a really nice song. I think she wrote it. Yeah, and she of course is. She had to take a lot of time off from mental health and whatnot too. So it was good to see her come back. Last year I think. Bird Set Free by Sia. Well, of course that was in the last list. Yeah, really good song. But again, it's not about a particular bird. Time for Me to Fly, REO Speedwagon. Oh my goodness. It's not about a particular bird. REO Speedwagon, probably one of the most overrated bands ever. Wind Beneath My Wings. This is better. Skyline Pigeon, it's an actual type of bird. What album was this from? This was on an early one. Oh, Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. What was that? 70s? 77? 78? Maybe? I don't know. Eagle by ABBA. I wish I could play this one, but I can't. I can't play any of them. Yeah. How many songs about eagles are there? Or referencing eagles? There must be hundreds. Steve Miller Band. Russell Morris, On the Wings of an Eagle. Was that Russell Morris? Yeah. The Eagle and the Hawk, John Denver. Very, very good country song. Would I have made it number 11 in the top 20? Probably not. Bird on a Wire. Again, these aren't referencing particular birds. Doves. Okay, we talked about Prince before. Bluebird by Sarah Bareilles. Yeah, I love this song. It's a very nice song. Again, Bluebird. That's the second Bluebird. Hello. The third Bluebird. There must be something really nice about bluebirds. Anyone in America at the moment can tell us about bluebirds? Birds, Imagine Dragons and Coldplay. We had that. Okay, Linda Ronstadt was Skylark. Now, Skylark, again, a great bird. Introduced to Australia, but a beautiful bird. What's your take on skylarks, Peter? Actually, you're probably a good person to ask. Do you even have skylarks up in your neck of the woods? Just bear with me. I'm just going to get my bird book. I'm not sure if skylarks are big up your end of the continent. Oh, and if you've come on hoping for a camera update, the update is I have the camera. I do not have the lenses yet. So we are not yet into Photography Friday mode for the bird emergency. Bear with me. I'm looking up. I'm looking up where the skylarks are. If in doubt, use the index, correct? If you didn't bring your reading glasses, you're going to be in trouble, aren't you? So, this is why it's always good to have guests on the live stream, because I can do something like this and they can keep talking, but we don't have that luxury today. Skylark. 498. It's on page 498, which is down here. Um, did you catch? Did anyone catch the? Yes, Peter. I'll pop that up in a second. Of course, that counts because there's a reference in the lyric that we know what they're talking about. So yeah, that counts. We'll get there in a second. Okay, 498, page 498. Skylark. No, I didn't think. Skylark's only in this southeastern corner, and yeah, you're going to see the pipit or the bushlark, not the skylark. So, okay, so you don't know about that one. Okay, Peter. Every grain of sand. Let's see whether it comes up in any of the lists that I looked at. Um, hey, Peter, Bob Dylan, genius or not? What's your take? All right. Free Bird by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah, great, pretty good song, but Lynyrd Skynyrd, pretty dodgy. So, um, yeah, okay, go like that. Fly Like an Eagle, just mentioned that Steve Miller Band. Yeah, that would have been in my top 20 for sure. I've almost said we can't talk about Rock and Robin, can we? Because that's such an easy one. When did this come out, I wonder? That's a 1950s cover for sure, with a macaw and a horned owl and some bluebirds. So, it's in the public domain. That's how old it's. They never renewed the copyright. That's why everyone has used it. Okay, good song. Hummingbird, Seals and Croft. Wouldn't have even made my top 50. I'm sorry. Mockingbird, James Taylor and Carly Simon. This would be in my top 50. Even though I can't stand either of them really, but it's a very good version. I'll Fly Away, Johnny Cash. I like the Alison Krauss version. 23. Wings of a Dove. Not really that into that one. Two Sparrows in a Hurricane. There we are. That's the song you were talking about there, Peter. So it's written by Mark Allen Springer. You didn't know that either? It was recorded by Dylan. Obviously, Tanya Tucker as well. Now, the next one I do know about, Snowbird by Anne Murray. My dad loved this song. Loved Anne Murray. Gene McClellan reportedly wrote the song in 20 minutes while walking on a beach of Prince Edward Island. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't play movie clips and songs and whatnot because you just get a copyright strike. A Broken Wing, Martina McBride. The Red Red Robin by Doris Day. Well, we all know that one. Who wrote this? Who wrote that, I wonder? First written and first released in 1926. So yeah, everyone knows that. Oh, coming up, one of my all-time favourites. This one is in my top 10. Do we remember this one? Disco Duck. Classically bad. Yeah, great song. Loved it. That would be in my top 10 probably. Little Bird, Annie Lennox. Yeah, I like that one too. All right. Eagle, When She Flies, Dolly Parton. God, I'm not seeing any that I really jump out on me, and certainly my favourite. My favourite isn't in that list. Let me go to 31. Are we in the 31? We are. Oh, songs about birds. Let's check out what Wikipedia will tell me. Oh, alphabetic list of songs about birds. Let's see. We got anyone from Twitch online yet? No Twitches today so far. Oh, there's a song called Kookaburra. Let's explore that one. Open that one. There's also a song called Lesbian Seagull. I can't resist that one. Little Red Rooster, of course. Little Red Robin. Hello, David from Oregon. I got to put this one up just because you think it's clever. Let's have a look at this one. Hey there, you bogan Vegemite guzzling spaz. Actually, I don't even want to say that. I don't mind you calling me a bogan. I don't mind you referring to Vegemite guzzling. Nothing wrong with Vegemite. But the whole ableist bullshit, what can we do with you? I don't know. We'll certainly take you down. No, ableist bullshit. You're out. See ya. What a dickhead. Sorry, I don't mind people having opinions, but no, that's bullshit. And my platform, piss off. What a dickhead. Duck, duck, goose. This is a song title. This is a song title. Actually, let me get this up and share. I'll tell you a bit about this one. It spent 2 weeks at number 1 in November 1965. Stayed in the chart for 18 weeks. May the bird of paradise fly up your nose. That's brilliant, isn't it? May the bird of paradise fly up your nose. Kookaburra. A song called Kookaburra. Let's... you're not seeing this screen, are we? So let me stop that one and put this one up so I can show you what we're looking at. I'm looking at Wikipedia. Share. This is what I'm looking at. Okay, this will bring it up better. I'll put... Oh, Big Thunder just here too, so maybe we're going to go that. May the bird of paradise fly up your nose. Oh, did you know that song Paloma Blanca from that must have been the 70s? That's about a bird? I don't know. Oh, la Paloma Blanca. Woodpeckers from space? Oh, let's... Euro Disco Italio Disco Duo Video Kids. A synth pop cover of the Woody Woodpecker song released in 1984. Woodpeckers from space. Okay, that one. Wouldn't it be great if I could play these? Sadly, I can't. I can't get over that idiot. Yeah. Oh, it's the same idiot. Look at this. Oh, Mr. Random. Oh, well, Mr. Random. Actually, that'll earn a report, actually. That will earn you a report. So enjoy. That's all I can say. Enjoy. I will definitely be letting YouTube know about you idiot. And actually, what else you got to do with your life, you tosspot? Mr. Random. Yeah. Go slam a Foster's and grow up. If you knew anything about Australia, we don't drink Foster's. That's for idiots around the rest of the world to drink. It's a terrible beer. Anyway. Wow, this guy's such an ableist wanker, but at least we know, at least I know what his name is. David Birch. What a fucking idiot. Peter, you can fill up the comments with some good comments. What's your favourite movie that is about birds or titled by birds or features a bird? You can go and get fucked. All right. Had to get rid of that idiot. What an idiot. Must have offended him with something I said about Elon Musk, probably. Oh no, what's happened here? Bear with me, I just got a message which was a bit depressing. Let's see what that is. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Okay, so that different grain of sand with Tanya Tucker was a different song. Okay. I know the Tanya Tucker version. I'm not sure I know the Dylan version. What was that in his electric phase, or was it in his acoustic phase, or was it in his Blood on the Tracks phase? Lots of songs about lots and lots of songs about pigeons, swans, blackbird, bluebird of happiness, chicken. Actually, the chicken dances in here. The crow, the owl, and the dove. Eagles, fly like an eagle. Many. I'm just expecting to get bloody bombed by that idiot on other things. Let me just check. No, none of those. All right. God knows what he'll be doing on my on the YouTube channel now. Lesbian Seagull. Okay, I wanted to check that out. Wikipedia asking me for money. Okay. Lesbian Seagull, released on the 1979. Oh, jeez, fair income. Okay, he's gone again. I'm going to have to get a moderator, I think, for this kind of stuff, this kind of idiot. Actually, how many are on YouTube? You could go and report the idiot, but he's obviously got 1,000,001 burner accounts. Engelbert Humperdinck performed Lesbian Seagull. Oh, and it was in Beavis and Butthead Do America in 1996. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Movies. Will we move on to movies? Oh, here we go. I've already done that, haven't I? Over here. Let me just stop that screen and start a new one for here. Okay, so very first up, in that search, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. There couldn't be any better, could there? But there's a couple of beauties on here. Fly Away Home. Now, is Fly Away Home the one with the Pastor Lucifer, as if I would be making you a moderator. I'm putting you in the same place as the other ones. Fly Away Home, that was that Anna Paquin in the hang glider or the ultralight? Phil, tell us if that was right, Peter. Obviously, The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock is the first one that came to mind with me, but three others are up there. The Crow. Not that I ever got through watching the whole of The Crow. Rio. I think if you've got kids or you've got friends of kids, you will have seen the great animated Rio. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. I'll see if I can find some promos for that, Peter. Let's have a look. That's probably going to be down here. Let's look for a. Now, I think, Peter, it's gonna. If I'll have to see who the story was about. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't watch we can't watch any of it. That'll get us dinged. Hello, Naomi. Nice to see you. We're having a bit of fun with a troll today, so that's pretty cool. Fly Away Home, family drama, blah, 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 dramatises the actual experiences of Bill Lishman, who in 1986 started training Canada geese to follow his ultralight aircraft and succeeded in leading their migration in 1993 through his program Operation Migration. The film is also based on the experience of Dr. William J. L. Sladen, a British-born zoologist and adventurer who aided Lishman with the migration. Okay, so this is going to be the same idiot, so you can go the same way. I'm not even giving you a second, idiot. There we go. Yeah, that'll be good. You can just keep creating YouTube accounts. Good on him. So I'm just having a look through the plot because I think we all remember that they were training geese to go on a migration journey, but she's brought from New Zealand to Ontario. So much of it is just made up. Okay. Anna Paquin, of course, as Amy Alden. Peter, you win. Of course, I have been. Let me just search. There we go. I really wanted to be able to play stuff, but I can't. Here we are. 2019. I actually thought it was a bit earlier than 2019. There we go. The story of Mr. Percival. Yeah. Greg Rowe, set in the Coorong. Fantastic. It's been remade, has it? It has. It's been remade with a different. Oh, I'm not going with that. Let's go Stormboy. I think you're going to be with me, aren't you? That it's got to be Stormboy with Greg Rowe and David Gulpilil. Oh my God, it's not coming up in IMDb. This can't be right. There we are, 1976. This is the one we want with Peter Cummins in it. Ah, well, that's good. Sorry, it's just taking me too much time to put these idiots out. Yeah, now this is going back to Bob Dylan. Shot of Love album, just after the Christian phase. actually, let's talk about that. Did Bob Dylan actually have a genuine Christian phase, or was he just riding the wave like so many of these fakes in the US nowadays? Where like Donald Trump, he's gone through a fake Christian phase. Mid 70s. So Peter Peter Mackay. Um, is it pre-hurricane, the Reuben Carter song? I know we're getting really granular about Bob Dylan today, but yeah. Now Peter Hollingworth, and Peter. Every time I see your name, I confuse you with an Archbishop of Brisbane and a former. It was the Governor General, wasn't he, of Australia, who was friends with one of my uncles. So every time I see your name, I instantly think to a time long past. But he had an S in his name and you don't. So I did a double take the first time I saw you in the comments or on Twitter or whatever it was. Okay, Stormboy, 1976, that movie came out. Greg Rowe, Peter Cummins, David Gulpilil. That's a great story. And of course, every time we talk about Mr. Percival, that's what I'm referring to. Is this going to tell us the plot or anything? Storyline. I think I can read it out without getting a copyright strike. Stormboy tells the story of a 10-year-old boy called Mick by his father Tom and Stormboy by the Aboriginal loner Fingerbone, who he befriends. And of course, they're in an isolated corrugated iron shed next to a wildlife sanctuary, which happens to be in the amazing Coorong. So that is fantastic. Yes, not him. Yeah, I did work that out, Peter. So there's shooters operating in the area. The parents, some adult pelicans get shot and killed. Mike finds the nest. There's some chicks in it. They bring them home. They bring them up. They teach them how to fly. They teach them how to grow up. And of course, Mr. Proud and Mr. Ponder, they go off. Mr. Percival keeps up his relationship with Mike, and through his relationship with Mike, through Mike's relationship with Mr. Percival, he becomes less of a loner and integrates into the school in the local town, Goolwa. I think I covered it pretty well. Fantastic story. Who played the school teacher? Judy Dick. Yeah, that was really cool. Very, very cool. Who's got another favourite one? Let me mention another bird song that didn't crop up in any of the lists I looked at. Birdhouse in Your Soul by They Might Be Giants. Did anyone like that one? I really thought we'd get a lot more. I mean, there were so many songs about robins. Australian bird songs. John Williamson. When the Currawongs come... No, that was Slim Dusty, wasn't it? When the Currawongs come down from the mountains. That's a beauty. Come on, this is a comments-based program here, fellas. You've got to... boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I need your help with this one. Movies. Any others that you can you can think about. I'm going to go back through these ones. Stormboy, Fly Away Home. We've talked about Fly Away Home. Back again. Movies about birds. Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Gahul. Don't know that one, sorry to say. The Starling. I did watch The Starling, didn't like it that much. Angry Birds, how could we go past that? Bird Box, that was a cool movie. Pretty scary. Netflix only, 2018. That one was a bit scary. Oh, Piper looks interesting, doesn't it? Little wader. Dark Crystal. Is that really about birds? Oh, Red Sparrow. That wasn't much of a movie. Black Swan. No, Black Swan. That was okay. Kess. Oh, yeah. Now, who did Kess? I did Kess at school. So I've never seen the movie, but I did like the book. Animated movie about penguins. Ice Age, wasn't that one of those? Let's see. What are they going to tell me are top picks for me? Let's have a look. Rare Birds, I have seen that one. Bird Emic, Shock and Terror, Dancing with Birds, fantasy movies about birds, comedies about birds, adventure movies about birds. Happy Feet, is that the one you were thinking of, Peter? This one here with the, I guess they're king penguins by the look of it. Can I zoom that one out? Let's see. Oh, it's not going to give me any. I can't play the clips. It's annoying. Happy Feet. Family-friendly movies about birds. I like that one there, Piper. That looks like a little dotterel or something. A little shore plover or something. Crimson Wing. That's the Crimson Wing, Mystery of the Flamingos. I'd give that one a crack. There's going to be more. Storks. I thought them. Here we go. Here's more dramas. Birds of Paradise. That's on Prime. Maybe I'll be able to watch that one. I don't know what that one is about. Fly Away Home. There we are. That's the one you were talking about. $3.99 to get that nowadays. Black Swan there with Natalie Portman as a ballet dancer. Birdman of Alcatraz. No, I wouldn't go for that one. The Starling. The Ornithologist. Let's find out what that one's all about. I mean, that's a title that I would definitely be attracted to and would probably watch. Paul Hammy as Fernanda, an ornithologist studying black storks in Portugal, who's drawn into... All right, let's go to the IMDb. So Portuguese. Let's read the... anyone we might know in there? No. Right. Storyline. Fernando is a 35-year-old ornithologist. He decides to go down a river in a kayak, hoping to find extremely rare black storks. Distracted by the beauty of the landscape, Fernando is soon thrown overboard by the current, and his motionless bloody body reaches the riverbank. I think we better have a look at the plot summary. That one does sound a bit cool. Rescued by a couple of Chinese pilgrims, he plunges into an eerie and dark forest, trying to get back on track. Okay, that's it. 2016, originally released in Canada. Okay, all right. That's a movie I would probably want to watch. I don't know where I'll find it. There's a Did You Know here that might be worth checking out. Where's the Did You Know? The Black Stork, Least Concern. All right. Bizarre. Okay. That looks like maybe one of those movies to watch when you've got nothing to do on a boring Sunday afternoon. What else comes in here? The Maltese Falcon. Why didn't you tell me about the Maltese Falcon? Of course, we've all seen the Maltese Falcon, haven't we? Oh, thanks, Amazon, telling me that Ornithologist is funny. Funny Ornithology Journal. Let's see, are there more on here? I'll go back one more. Here we go. Friendship movies about bird. Oh, The Big Year. Now, The Big Year. Have you seen this one, you guys? 2011 by Disney. Now, it's every time I see it, I think about Sean Dooley and The Big Twitch, because it's about a big year. But have a look who stars in it. I mean, for crying out loud. Where are we? I'm tempted to watch the all right. It's about a big year. People going for a year trying to see how many bird species that they can see. And it stars Owen Wilson, Jack Black, Steve Martin, Ben Stiller, and Jim Parsons and John Cleese. So at the very start, they're just taking the piss out of bird watchers. I mean, imagine putting Owen Wilson and Jack Black in a movie about bird watching. Okay. I do like the Rotten Tomatoes description. The Big Year is an amiable, dull film with a star-studded and underused cast of fine comedians who are unable to make this worth seeing. It's about bird watching. My goodness. I might have a camera update. Oh, no, that's not for the camera. That's for an eyepiece. Okay, so the eyepiece I ordered is on the way. I thought it was going to say out for delivery and I'd get my thing today, but no, not yet. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I really want to click on this. Let me click on this because I do like this. It took in $7.2 million. Though made with care and affection for its characters, The Big Year plods along, rarely reaching any comedic heights. I must say, I've watched it and I thought it was a stinker. The Big Year is as glossy and inert as Martin's face, which these days seems to require more foundation than the Burj Khalifa. In some alternate universe, a much better version of The Big Year exists, one that embraces the essential insular weirdness or romantic fanaticism of the birding community it chronicles. It's theoretically possible for laughs to be gouged out of this scenario, but you won't find them here. All three actors play their usual stock characters here. The Big Year is completely predictable and full of full of way too many bird watching montages set to inspiring music, but it's such an upbeat, cheery film that it's pretty hard to resist. Oh, he must be watching a different one. This is the one. This is the one I liked. I've got to watch the whole. I've got to read the whole thing out. Gee, it's a long one. This is actually probably the whole movie. The Big Year is an amiable, dull film with a star-studded and underused cast of fine comedians who are unable to make this worth seeing. It's about bird-obsessive bird watchers, but you won't care. I was wondering if bird watching was the problem, in that it's just not interesting enough to merit being a movie subject. But there are movies about ostensibly deadly dull pastimes that are riveting because of their high stakes and a great script. See Clerks, Office Space, etc. This has neither. Apparently, the goal for major birders is to see the most bird species in 1 year. On the honour system, you don't actually need to produce evidence. This lame film is about three characters going head-to-head to achieve this. Steve Martin, looking strangely beaten throughout the film, seems to have the most screen time. I'd go along with him in almost any film, so intelligent and warm a comic presence, but I stayed with him here out of train wreck empathy. I wish there was an actual train wreck. Here his saddest moment is missing a plane. He plays a successful New York mogul on the verge of retirement, Jack Black, a divorced office drone who lives with his parents, Brian Dennehy and Diane West. Even the most minor characters are accomplished. Is his competition. Finally, Owen Wilson is the most arrogant and successful birdwatcher in the world, and he's the villain. Hello, the big twitcher is a villain. Wilson and Martin have beautiful, long-suffering wives, Rosamund Pike and Jo Beth Williams, and Black has his eyes on fellow birdwatcher Rashida Jones. I won't waste your time with more plot description. This film has lovely locations, British Columbia standing in for various US birding meccas like the Aleutian Islands and the New Mexico desert, and wonderful shots of birds. Screenwriter and director David Franken made a career out of successful low-key comedies, Devil Wears Prada, Marley and Me, for example. Marley and Me was about a couple who adopted a dog. The marriage is framed by the relationship with the dog, and somehow it's very moving and you care. This film doesn't care enough to raise any stakes. Everyone is so nice and has very little to lose. He tries to make us care whether Owen Wilson's wife will leave him because she's trying to get pregnant, and he ignores her to have his big year. She eventually leaves, and he doesn't change or care at all due to a poor script and Owen Wilson acting limitations. Why should we give a damn? If you are falling asleep and would prefer to watch something that you won't care enough to rewind to catch up when you wake up, this is your movie. I marvel at the waste of money and talent. Oh, that's a bit rough, isn't it? That's a bit rough. Oh, but I must admit, I'd never thought it was good. A lot of people have asked me if I've seen The Big Year, and yeah, I have, and I didn't care. Peter, what about the giant eagles in Lord of the Rings? Are they? They're not just eagles, are they? Aren't they some sort of morphed creature? They're the ones, the big feathery grey ones. Is that look like the grey eagle in the Muppets and Sesame Street? Is that the? Are we talking about the same thing? I must admit, I'm not that much of a Lord of the Rings thing. I'm trying to get into the latest one, the latest series, but I haven't really. Sorry. Geez, I can't. That was a damning review for that. For The Big Year, that was really bad. Let me go back to some more of those. Peter, did I get the right? Did I get the right character? I mean, the big eagles in Lord of the Rings. I can't think of a pivotal scene in Lord of the Rings with giant eagles in them. My failing, obviously, because I don't. Yeah. Well, I guess with your definitive response there, Peter, I think you're a bit like me. Maybe it was the guy from the big grey guy from the Muppets. Fraggle Rock. How cool was Fraggle Rock? Got me thinking. Oh, there's one here about owls, rare birds. That was a bit. There's not really that many about movies about birds, is there? That's a bit disappointing. Okay, so I talked about John Williamson and the Currawongs come down from the mountains. What about literature? This is what I wonder if you've got any. Now, we've got To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, that one's out there. Any other literature, books that you can think about that have made an impression on you? Short stories, perhaps? Thank you, Peter. Yes, I know that scene. This is when they pluck him and fly him away, right? Then they rescued Gandalf. Yes, I remember that. And yes, I remember that. But I've got a feeling that they weren't just eagles; that they were amalgamation or something. But you'll probably know better. But let's go back to literature. Let me do a Google search, and I'm gonna put in books about birds, and let's go fiction. Birds as characters. 13 books bird lovers will flock to. Fiction books. Can we please talk about all these bird books? Yes, from the tower. Yes, I do remember that scene, Peter. Here's a whole lot of. I don't reckon are these all fiction? Jemima Puddle Duck. All right, Beatrix Potter. I know that one. The Tale of Jemima Puddle Duck by Beatrix Potter. Bird Rain. See, these, even though they all say that, these are saying they're fiction, but to me these look like non-fiction. They're not bird books, so to speak. Oh, there we go. Look at that. What bird is that? One of the best. Last of the Curlews. Red Tails in Love. Mr. Popper's Penguins. Birdscaping Australian Gardens. Oh. I might be writing a birdscaping book. Just birdscaping your gardens. Gee, we're getting a lot of YouTube today. That's nice. Hello, everyone from YouTube. Yeah. Kess, that's up there. Kess is one that I remember from school, which is about, was actually called A Kestrel for a Knave, and then the film Kess came out, and then the book was remarketed as Kess. Kestrel for a Knave, about a boy who is from, working class background and gets introduced to falconry with a kestrel and it changes his life. A Season on the Wind, so that's about spring migration. To Kill a Mockingbird we've talked about. See, most of these are sort of accounts of bird stuff. There, of course, Kakapo, rescued from the brink of extinction, Alison Ballance. Great book. Where Song Began, Tim Lowe, great book. Oh, there we are. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Who doesn't remember Jonathan Livingston Seagull? And that's Neil Diamond song that went with it. Okay. Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven. Well, I guess we'll put that one in. The Birdman's Wife. I don't know that one. But they look like blue wrens. They do look like Australian wrens. Let's have a look at that. Melissa Ashley. Oh, it's about Elizabeth Gould. Okay, so they're all kind of retellings of factual stuff. What's this bird sense? I like the look of that one. What's it like to be a bird? Tim Burkhead. Okay. When is that? $123.95. Do you think I'm going to be buying that from Bloomsbury? I can get it from Kindle for $14.71. You can get it used pretty cheap. Okay. Get it used for $15. Okay. But there's only one left in stock for $122. What's it about? How do desert birds detect rain? Oh, it sounds pretty interesting. All right, I might check that one out. T.R. Burkhead. Let me follow him so I can find new stuff. Okay, gang. Well, I'm not getting any literature suggestions from you guys, and I don't think it's very interesting watching me scroll through Wikipedia and Amazon looking for bird literature. Looks like the troll gave up. I haven't seen him back since. What an annoying idiot! I guess I'm going to have to change the settings on the channel. He's probably bombarding it with rubbish comments. What's it like to be a bird? Oh, that's by David Allen Sibley. That one might be interesting too. That one could be interesting. But I was hoping that there'd be like a more... did Henry Lawson or Banjo Patterson write any sort of bird stories? Is anyone... I can't think of any poems. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Mary, Mary, king of the bush is he. Old Man Emu, of course, John Williamson, back in songs, but that's prose. Yeah. Anyone else got any more thoughts before we start wrapping up? I might get rid of this. I'll stop that now. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. So we're back here. Don't forget, folks. Have I got my? I don't have that overlay up, do we? Oh, yes, we do. Don't forget, folks. We still need to do the Toondah Harbour action. If you have not hit these people up on Twitter, I suggest you do. If you do hit them up on Twitter, even just go and look at their profiles, you'll find the other addresses that you can mail them about the Toondah Harbour development in Brisbane, which is still out for public comment and assessment at the moment. So it's the last time to make a difference. So Megan Scanlon, Stephen Miles and Tanya Plibersek are the people that we need to affect and effect. And of course, the bird behind me is the Far Eastern curlew, critically endangered, and it uses the habitat that is going to be affected, the shoreline at Toondah Harbour on the shores of Moreton Bay in Brisbane. Folks, I think that's all I wanted to tell you, other than perhaps I'll ask you a question. Who's going over to Mastodon? Is anyone making the move to Mastodon? Give you a minute or so to tell me that, and I will I'll put this one up as a... Now I'm about to start posting on Mastodon, so let me just pop it up. That's my Mastodon handle. I'm going to start putting material out on Mastodon that doesn't go out on the other sites. A lot of people have asked me, am I leaving Twitter? No, I'm not leaving Twitter, but I already had Twitter Blue, and I'm not seeing in my Twitter Blue any option to do the verification. But Musk has made it really clear that over the next few months, if you don't have Twitter Blue, it doesn't matter about the tick and all that. If you're not paying, you won't get seen. He's going to put only Twitter Blue people will only be surfaced in Twitter search. They're the people who are going to be the top of everyone's feeds. It won't matter who you're following. The people that will surface in your feeds are people who have paid to be verified. I might find it worthwhile to continue at Twitter for a period of time until another option pops up. I quite like Mastodon from what it looks like, but it is clunkier to get around. A couple of the other options are really problematic. Some of them are just data harvesting sites that are masquerading as these open platform, bastions for free speech and whatnot, but really all they're doing is harvesting your data to sell it. So I'm not into that. Mastodon is open source and distributed, and it's quite clunky. It's still being developed. Obviously, the servers in the last few days haven't coped with the amount of people that have moved over quickly. But I'm joining the Oz Social server in Mastodon. You have to nominate a server when you join. I'm going to put a post up at the Bird Emergency, so that will be the Bird Emergency /Mastodon with some key people that I follow and people who want to promote their handles. So if you are going to Mastodon and you would like Bird Twitter people to be able to find you easily, you can DM me on Twitter, you can email me, whatever you like to do. If you want your Mastodon handle to be shared around, and I'll put it in my list on the birdemergency.com/Mastodon, which will come into existence later today, probably after I go and buy some tofu. What else did I want to talk about today? I did want to talk about that article that was in The Guardian, so let me bring that up. I think it was in The Guardian, not the because I got a bit of pushback about something I said about The Guardian Australia and carbon credits. And I want to just put out on the record what I was meaning. Here we go. This will be the one. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, let me get this up and we will sort of walk through it. Okay, let's get off COP27. Okay, so Professor Andrew McIntosh checked out the carbon credits scheme and found that there are schemes that the scheme over a period of years. Let's see where the dates are. Six academics chaired by the former Carbon Credit Scheme Integrity Chair, Professor Andrew McIntosh, found that, here we are, 169 projects that together had received about 24 million credits between 2015 and 2021 said that 92 projects in New South Wales received 13.6 million carbon credits, but the combined area of forests and sparse woody vegetation cover in the affected area was more than 10,000 hectares less than when the projects were first registered. And in Queensland, they said 73 projects were found to have received 9.9 million credits, while forest cover went backwards by more than 50,000 hectares. McIntosh, who previously described the carbon credit system as a sham and a fraud on taxpayers and the environment, said the results were alarming but should not be surprising. Now, I come down pretty much on agreeing with Andrew McIntosh, but the claims are disputed, and Professor Ian Chubb, the former national scientist, said that some companies that manage nature-based projects to store carbon have disputed these findings, and where I come down on this is that when we are only analysing a carbon credit scheme as carbon amelioration, it's faulty just in its design. We need to separate. We need to have. We need to have schemes where, in my view, and this is where I want people to comment and come up with ideas and alternatives. But in my view, if you're going to have a carbon credit only scheme, and the only purpose of the scheme is to store carbon, to increase the situation with atmospheric carbon, then you can't be clearing land to do that. You must do those works on land that has already been cleared. But if you are talking about carbon and biodiversity credits, which the government is talking about, well then you can't possibly be doing any clearing on intact habitat, and it's got to weigh in favour of the biodiversity, the conservation side of the ledger. That's got to be the most important part of the scheme, in my view. And some people are saying I'm missing the point or whatever. Well, yeah, that's my hobby horse. There's plenty of places where trees can be planted, but the number of stems per hectare, there might be more trees per hectare than there was originally, but that does not mean that it's a healthy ecosystem, or it's not habitat for the animals that may have originally or are now living there. Tree stems do not equal forest, right? That's what I wanted to get across. Forestry in terms of forests, in terms of forestry and industry, are not the same as forests when we talk about the ecological function of those habitats and those locations. So I just wanted to put that out there because there's a lot of greenwashing happening now and people pegging out their sides about who they support and all that. It's not all about this. That's not how I see it. Greenhouse gas emission action is separate to biodiversity preservation. You can design schemes that do both, but very rarely will the location that is the best for establishing a tree planting project, a revegetation project, that's going to have different benefits than retaining existing important habitat for endangered species, which is where my hobby horse is. So I just wanted to get that out there. Okay, Peter, here we go. Let's talk about Bob Dylan again for a minute. It's always been a spiritual seeker. Yeah, he's always been a spiritual seeker. I agree with that, but do you reckon he's a Christian? I don't know. I reckon he's definitely always been into people who are into spiritualism and whatnot. So after Hurricane, after Street Legal, and okay, cool. You're obviously a Dylan geek, Peter. Must admit I'm not, but although I really did get... The only reason I knew anything about Reuben Carter as a younger person was because of Hurricane, and that sort of introduced me to that structural racism issues in the US, 20, 25 years ago, I guess. Well, 30 years ago, maybe it's even 40 years ago, but I did used to turn up the transistor on 3XY and on Eon FM when Hurricane came on. That's how old I am. Yeah, so all right, let me pull this down. Don't need to talk any more about that. Anyone got anything you want to bring up and want to talk about, or any suggestions? I'll tell you what's coming up in the next little while on the Bird Emergency. On Thursday at 11 o'clock, when I'm speaking with Saskia Gerhardi about the Plains Wanderer. So that's a bit of a follow-up from the first Plains Wanderer we did. It's more about what Bush Heritage Australia are doing, and we'll probably talk about some of the other projects that are going on. Next Monday, Holly is back with me at midday. I think we're talking about the strangest places that you have seen birds nesting. I think, or I might have broadened it out to be your favourite encounter with a bird. And at 2 o'clock, I'm speaking with Sarah Comer, who's with the Department of whatever it's called in Western Australia, Conservation and Environment. And we're going to be talking about the critically endangered birds of southwest Western Australia. So that includes western whipbird, noisy scrub bird, the western ground parrot. I think we're going to talk about some of the cockatoos. So that's what's coming up next Monday. And then I've got a bit of a gap. I'm chasing a whole lot of people down, trying to set some things up, but I'm leaving some free time because I have the camera. I've actually hidden it so no one can see it, and I'm waiting for those lenses and a few cables and everything. So hopefully the next time I go live, I'm hoping when I go live on Thursday, I can not be looking at this crappy webcam and actually have a nice new camera, or a nice old new camera, and be beautifully in focus, and everything will be marvellous, and I'll have been able to go out and start practicing some of my bird stuff, and that maybe my morning bird reports, hashtag first seen and heard, will include shots of the birds that I am seeing first. anyway, that's what we're looking at. And the idea is that I can start to go and see some of the people and places I talk about and interview them face to face and turn those into bird emergency bird emergency episodes. So that's going to be the plan. It's open to you guys for a minute or two, a couple of minutes, and we'll see where we. If there's any other comments, anything you'd like me to chase up. I'm doing a bit of a research on this will be just a YouTube video about the plight of the Gordian finch at the moment. Also following up some of the really early bird emergency things I did, like with the Philippines cockatoo and the Philippines eagle. We talked New Zealand Bird of the Year last week, but I want to revisit some more of those New Zealand projects, Takahe perhaps. So there's a bit. I'll probably be doing a fair bit about New Zealand coming up. So if there are things you'd like me to check out, chase up, people that you would like me to interview, always you can hit me on Mastodon there, or if I take that down, of course I've got the same Twitter handle, and you can always get me if you want to get me on the email. news@thebirdemergency.com goes to the mailbox where I know it's suggestions or comments or things like that. Where to find the petition for the Toondah Harbour action, actforbirds.org.au/Toondah. And hey, each morning, hashtag first seen and heard. I do that on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Different ones, and that'll start popping up on Mastodon as well, where I talk about what I heard and saw first each morning, and I would love your input. So there we go. That's I think that's it for me today. Any further comments? No. And yes, of course, we did put a new episode out in the podcast feed yesterday, and there will be another one going out tomorrow. I haven't decided which one it will be. I think tomorrow I'll put out an update about artificial hollows, following on from the talk we had about gangs, which I put out yesterday. And I might hit you with a couple. I might do the powerful owls with handling and trapping powerful owls, and the Dr. Nick powerful owls, Dr. Nick and Lucy. Dr. Nick, and did I say Dr. Lucy? Dr. Nick and Lucy, about the powerful owls in Brisbane. So yeah, we might go murder birds again. So that'll keep you all busy for the next 2 weeks. There'll be plenty to listen to, and I've got enough to keep everyone happy until Christmas. But I can't stop talking about birds, so we'll be talking a lot more about birds. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks to the troll. That was a lot of fun. Better go and upgrade my permissions on YouTube about the comments. I'm sure he'll be in there doing rubbish at the moment. So we'll see you. If you're joining live, I'll see you at 11 a.m. Thursday, Melbourne, Sydney, Hobart, Canberra time, which I don't know, is Brisbane before or after? I don't even know. An hour's different in Brisbane. And that will be Saskia Gerhardi talking about the Plains Wanderer and the really impressive work that's going on keeping them going. Australia's weirdest bird. Thanks, everyone. I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd. This has been the Bird Emergency. We'll talk to you another time about birds. Ciao.